and welcome to this episode of Built Modular. I'm your host, Michelle Dawn Mooney. Today we'll be exploring the Whitecap Black Diamond partnership between Whitecap Dakota Nation and BOXX Modular in Saskatchewan. We will learn how both groups have come together to form the successful and supportive working relationship that exists between them today, as well as the overarching benefits of forming partnerships with Indigenous communities on both community and business. And joining me today, Scott McLeod, who is Manager Indigenous Relations for Whitecap Black Diamond, Dan Clark, Sales Representative for BOXX Modular Saskatchewan, and Harley Kamsel, Whitecap Development LP General Manager. Thank you so much for being with me today. Starting with you, Scott, can I have you give us a brief bio if you can, please?
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. And before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that we're joining from many places across Canada on the traditional lands of the diverse First Nation, Inuit, and Métis people. We are grateful to live and work on this land, and we honor the Indigenous people who have cared for it, both past and present. So my name is Scott McLeod, and I am the Manager of Indigenous Relations with Black Diamond Group. I've been in this position for about 7 years, however, in the industry for well over 20 now. Worked for all sides of the table, both provincially. I've worked with Indigenous communities directly in economic development corporations, and recently for the last 10 years in industry. Happy to be here. Look forward to the conversation. Thank you.
And what about you, Dan?
My name is Dan Clark. I'm a sales representative for the Saskatchewan region, and I've been with BOXX Modular for about 9 months now.
And Harley?
I'm Harley Kamsel. I'm coming to you from Whitecap Dakota Nation today, this fine morning, and I am the General Manager for Whitecap Development's LP, division of Whitecap Development Corporation, and I'm in charge of working with the partners like BOXX Modular in this one.
Perfect. So we have a great group, and we have a great list of questions that I want to ask you to talk about, this partnership. And it really is going to be pretty special to hear all of you chime in on this. So let's start off here. Harvey, can you share a bit about Whitecap Dakota Nation, its history, and then what makes your community so unique?
So Whitecap Dakota is a very small nation, based just outside of Saskatoon. Chief Whitecap was really part of the founding of Saskatoon, the local city. They helped point out where the local city the settlers should settle, and that's ended up to be where Saskatoon is today. It is a very small nation. There's still consistently about 700 members. We do have about 700 people on Nation right now, and we're growing steadily. On Nation, we have the casino, we have our Dakota Dunes golf links, we have our resort, which is new. We also have several projects upcoming that are in progress right now. One of the big ones is going to be the Dakota Dunes Spa, as well as some other, the virtual health center and health and wellness expansions. So we're a very busy nation for being this close to Saskatoon.
Yeah. Scott, I want to turn to you. Can you provide us with some background information on Whitecap Black Diamond and describe the nature of the partnership between Whitecap Dakota Nation, Black Diamond Group, and BOXX Modular?
So Whitecap Black Diamond is an equity stake limited partnership agreement that was established in 2014, and I'm proud to say we just celebrated our 10th year anniversary in October of this year. Whitecap Black Diamond's business is focused on selling and renting modular space and workforce lodging, surface rentals, and associated operational services such as catering and janitorial services. And since 2014, our partnership has grown over time and is recognized as one of the best in the industry, supported by highly recognized and respected Chief Bear, Whitecap Council, with a shared vision, true collaboration, and dedication to their economic team, including former members, Councillor Frank Royal and Councillor Allison Daniels, and now the new CEO, Daryl Balkwell, and General Manager Harley, as well as our executives at Black Diamond. They've been very supportive of this business since the inception in 2014. In my opinion, we truly developed a meaningful, mutual beneficial long-term partnership that continues to provide success for both parties, generate opportunities through workforce development and infrastructure projects that we're continuing to focus on. It's been the shared value and vision of both Whitecap Dakota Nation, and Black Diamond Group, specifically BOXX Modular, that have shared these values and visions for the past 10 years, and we look forward to many more years of success.
And Dan, I want to pull you in here from the BOXX Modular standpoint. Can you provide an overview of BOXX Modular, your business, and your presence in Saskatchewan?
Absolutely, Scott. Thank you for helping me out with the dates, of course, and be able to guide me on that. BOXX Modular is a leading provider of modular spaces and solutions across North America. We specialize in designing, leasing, selling modular structures everywhere in our province. We go from mobile units, we go from office trailers, we go from construction trailers. We have lavatories. Not only do we have availability as rentals, but we also have availability to build brand new through vendors. Here in Saskatchewan, our presence is very strong. We operate out of our Regina branch, and we serve communities across the province from the top, the bottom, and everywhere in between. We are deeply connected to our region through our partnership, and we support our local industries, infrastructures, and projects for modular solutions that meet our customers' unique needs.
I want to dive a little deeper on that partnership. What does the Whitecap Black Diamond partnership mean to Whitecap Dakota Nation, Black Diamond Group, and BOXX Modular? And then how has this partnership evolved over time?
I will start with that. And I'll say from the community perspective, the partnership with Black Diamond and BOXX Modular really is a stable partnership. We've been, Scott has given us some of the dates, we've been going strong now for over 10 years. What that provided to the community is really revenue dollars. That's kind of the primary one, just because of the nature of the business with BOXX Modular. We are looking forward as Black Diamond grows for some employment opportunities with some of their new acquisitions. It does offer some potential for more job creation components with the communities. But from the revenue standpoint, what that allows us to do is mentioned before, provide equity for us to do community projects. Some of the ones that are going to be coming down the pipe are going to be a community center, a potential sports complex, updating of our existing sports areas, as well as currently ongoing is an expansion of our Whitecap Trail, which is a walking trail from the resort all the way down and along the highway and up to the school. So those are all community things that are directly affected by revenues from all of our partnerships, BOXX Modular and Black Diamond being a large part of that. So it's really good to have those strong, stable components. We've been fairly strong for several years, and we're looking for that to grow.
For me, from the Indigenous relations perspective on this, Whitecap Black Diamond is a core pillar of our business in Saskatchewan. We are an Indigenous business. It is 51% majority owned by the Whitecap Dakota Nation. And since the beginning, the inception of Whitecap Black Diamond and our shared vision to the implementation of our shared values, we continue to see the business grow through new opportunities, increased participation in major projects, as well as increased revenue generation. It's a longevity of our businesses to demonstrate to customers that we are the industry leading business, and for the community as business grows together, we can continue to start making a difference and a real difference through community investment, providing sole sourced revenue, and provide the nation support to prosper well into the future. And that just hits on a lot of those projects that Harley was talking about. We may not be the sole investor through Whitecap Black Diamond. It's a collective of all the work through all the joint venture partners. But we are playing a major part in assisting and helping with building that infrastructure, helping with the growth in the community, helping support and fund local initiatives and cultural initiatives, contributing to scholarship funds. The list goes on and on and on. And we're very proud of it. And this is a core pillar of our business. And, we continue to see amazing growth and success just based on the values that we all hold and carry together.
Scott, I love that you said together, because you know what? It's just not a business arrangement. It's a relationship built on mutual respect, shared ownership, and commitment to community growth. Whitecap Dakota Nation, not only do we help deliver modular solutions, but we serve industries and communities across this province. It's a partnership that brings together our technical expertise and Whitecap's deep community insight. Over time, it's evolved into a true collaboration, one that helps us build not only just buildings, but just true trust and opportunities.
Harley, I want to ask you, how does the partnership with BOXX Modular align with the values and goals of your nation, and what does it mean for your community?
For the community itself, like I said, we really rely on the revenues to do components within the community, and right now, one of the big things is from a family perspective and community perspective is one of our counselors had reached out to Black Diamond, our partners, and they're going to be supplying a wash car component for the skating rink because it's a family area that's outdoors. So it's good to have an ability for all the kids to be able to go and use the washroom when they're at the rink, because it is like any outdoor rink, usually not beside a heated building. It's good old outside cold. So they're going to be donating that for the kids in the community. On top of that, working with the Black Diamond from the Pillar community side, they are available whenever we do need them for components within the community. We have worked with them to sponsor various community events as well. So all those really align with the kind of the community goals, not just the revenue side of things, but how do they become part of the community. Scott has spent many time at the resort, and we've had lots of interesting conversations, and Dan has done a few of those, and we do look for more of those in the future.
So, Dan, how does the partnership between BOXX Modular and Whitecap Dakota Nation function on a day-to-day basis within your branch? From your perspective, what are the greatest strengths and maybe unique benefits of working alongside Whitecap Dakota Nation?
We work closely with Whitecap through our joint venture, of course. Whitecap Black Diamond, this means that every project we take on in Saskatchewan is backed and shared community equity, community growth and inclusion through Whitecap. Whether it's quoting a modular office, it's just not us, it's through engaging of Indigenous partnerships. Another unique benefit is the economic impact, because Whitecap Nation, of course, is an equity partner. They share the success of our projects. So anything that comes out through our office in Saskatchewan here, it's a partnership. It's a work together. No matter what is going on, we have to think that we're representing the nation, not only ourselves, BOXX Modular, but we have to be able to represent the nation and how we build together. It's unique from a new person that's in a new industry and how we function day to day. It brings so much inclusive factors into our life, and without Whitecap, we'd be behind the eight ball in certain situations.
You talked about building together, and a great example of the type of projects the BOXX Saskatchewan branch and Whitecap Dakota Nation typically take on in partnership together is the ongoing construction of a new power plant in rural Saskatchewan. So Dan, can you share some details about this project for Sask Power?
Yeah, Sask Power's new Great Plains Power Station in Moose Jaw. It's a 370 megawatt power station. As combined, it's got natural gas fired station. Great Plains was efficient, generated reliable baseload power. 70% of the workers of the project came from Saskatchewan. And now that it's up and running, we have 25 full-time employees of Saskatchewan. BOXX Modular side of it, we provided over 50 construction office solutions for our customers and our vendors. Looking at that, and it's not only representing BOXX Modular, it's representing Whitecap, as we made a big impact on that project.
What roles do each of you play in its success?
I will say from a community perspective, what we do is we offer support, right? We're not just a partner. We're going to be saying, okay, where's our revenue? It is reaching out to Dan if they're needed from with the Sask Power component that we were talking. If I need to go and talk with them, make sure that Sask Power knows that we're engaged in the project, that from a community perspective, we know what's going on. It's not just a report that we get. It is actually, being involved, asking questions. What should we do with the next steps? Should we do more? If there is any problems from a nation perspective, we can go and talk directly with Sask Power, and we can say, okay, there's been good things, there's been bad things. Lots of times we have a follow-up post-bid components, things like that, just because those are the key things that we want from a community perspective from both our partners, but we also want it, and we're going to hold clients as well, right? If you're going to have a First Nations engagement policy, is it being followed properly? So we're going to offer feedback on both sides of that.
That's a great step for us, Harley. You look at how we impacted the Great Plains Power Station. We worked as a team across the board, not only from the day-to-day successes, but the long term of it. Whether we had customers that were having issues with something on site, we were always there, always ready, and always willing to be able to go above and beyond for those clients. I think the biggest thing as a sales representative, we got to understand that as I represent the nation, it's just not an I or a box mentality. It's a we mentality. And as we have worked through, every project has its struggles. but how does BOXX and Whitecap come together to be able to put the best product out there and make sure our customers are proud to represent what we put out there for them.
Harley, what positive effects have you seen from this partnership and projects like the power plant on Whitecap, Dakota Nation, and the surrounding community?
Saskatchewan is a big place, right? So we do see it more just in the revenue side of things. There is some components where we do get related to the project itself. There is some employment and some job creation from the project as a whole. From directly with the partnership, it's more, this is a revenue, this is a new project coming up. This is something that we can look forward to in the future for revenue coming down the stream. And what we can then look from there is how can we turn that into growth, right? We have been using that as talks with BOXX Modular and Black Diamond as we grow our space here on the nation, that potentially expanding the project or the team up into the nation here. But that's also giving us that opportunity from that revenue to start those projects. So that gives us a growth opportunity for, this project and then all the next ones down the line.
Scott, earlier you touched on the importance and how special it is to have that Indigenous connection with Black Diamond. So how do you see this partnership contributing to Black Diamond's Indigenous principles?
For me and for the Indigenous relations team here at Black Diamond, our Indigenous engagement and partnerships are always guided by the 7 grandfather teachings or the 7 sacred teachings. You may have heard them. These teachings include wisdom, love, respect, bravery, honesty, humility, and truth. And I believe that these teachings we share with Whitecap Dakota Nation. For me, these teachings in all aspects of our partnership is a true testament of why we've been able to maintain such a mutually beneficial long-term relationship. Partnerships are built on trust, they're built on respect, and those values align with the Indigenous relations principles at Black Diamond Group. But more importantly, Indigenous engagement goes beyond business. It's about being part of a community and being there for one another and supporting through shared values, such as the 7 grandfather teachings that I just spoke of. One of the best parts of my job is being able and having the ability to come out and join the nation at community events, cultural gatherings, language conferences, powwows, the list goes on, sporting events. And it's that work that continues to build a culture of Black Diamond that we can all be proud of. I think, through these Indigenous principles that we implement, creates an opportunity for us to be, a standout partner for Whitecap Dakota Nation, in the sense that, we're there for more than just business. We're there to be part of community, be part of a family, and have that special connection.
Dan, how do you see this partnership contributing to BOXX Modular's mission and values, particularly in fostering community and economic growth?
It's to create a better way, whether that's through innovative modular solutions, strong customer relationships, or most importantly, for me, meaningful community impact. Our partnership with Whitecap Dakota Nation is a direct reflection of those values. We look at that across the board. The one thing I can say is being in this partnership in a short time, they're just not involved. Harley and his team, they're invested. What does that mean? The success of our partnership or our projects is it directly supports their community, and that's incredibly powerful to me. Look at economically, it's a win-win. You find a better way to be able to build solutions in the community. Not only does that create jobs, it creates a lasting impact. As we function, the model, it aligns perfectly with our values, collaboration, respect, and sustainability. What I love most about our business and how we work together, we're helping shape a future where economic reconciliation isn't just a goal, it's a part of how we do business every single day.
I want to open this up to all 3 of you. What lessons have you learned from working together that could maybe serve as a model for other partnerships between businesses and Indigenous communities?
From the community perspective, it is really stability, long-term partnerships. So how do you find a good partner? Really, we do have other partners we've mentioned throughout this component. We do have some that are long-term, but I also do know a lot of nations where they do have partners and it's kind of a rotating door. They come in, they're doing a project and they're leaving. So from that, we don't develop that relationship component. We don't develop long-term, components, planning, any of the rest of that. And there's no way for us to help in the growth side of things, both on the community and our side of it with partnerships and revenues, and the Black Diamond and BOXX Modular side of things, where we can develop from there. So it is, every partnership is slightly different, but realistically, the key components are long-term engagement on both sides and realistically true meaningful engagement, right? So it's not just they're going to be sending me the report, we're doing quarterly this, we're doing that. It is, we have a meeting, we have talks, we share jokes, we share some funny stories, because that's the kind of relationship that we want to have, not just a blank face, give us a report of finances and then let's go on to the next thing. It is creating a relationship and a long-term partnership, and that's what I recommend for a lot of communities to try to do, and not just trying to go at it for just a short-term gain of just the revenue for that project.
I personally like it, not only, Harley, you saying relationship. I know, Scott, you've said it, trust. I said also say mutual respect. We have shared goals in our community. We create something that not only is going to last a couple of years, but it's also showed that it can last over decades. Over time, building these relationships and building the relationship that we have with Whitecap, it's second to none. We're not only working as business partners, but we're working as friends. And as we could go into communities and when we represent not only BOXX Modular, but our Whitecap partnership, it's about the respect, the trust, the relationships that we have inside of that.
We keep saying that word trust. We keep saying transparency, respecting one another. I think respecting each other's priorities and values and learning from one another are all things that contribute to a long-term, meaningful, mutually respectful, long-term business relationship. But like we've discussed before, it's more than business. It's about being there. And I truly believe if your mind and your heart are in the right place and you truly want to build a strong partnership, have patience, and things will evolve over time and success will come.
So looking ahead, what is next for this partnership? How do you see it continuing to grow with Black Diamond Group and BOXX Modular specifically, and making an impact moving forward?
I did mention a little bit earlier is we're really focused on growth on the nation, as well as, partnerships, and as well as, growing our partnerships as a whole. So for us, really, this revenue component and the future planning for us and some of the new components that are attaching themselves with Black Diamond is potential for employment, but potentially growing that footprint for Black Diamond in Saskatchewan by having another office based here on Nation. So we are looking for that as definitely as growth. And it's not just Black Diamond we're looking for that. We're looking for multiple partners to have a footprint on Nation. And we do want them to grow with us, because we do expect this to continue on past the 10-year mark that we've reached.
I couldn't agree more, Harley. We're looking forward to 2025 and beyond. Since I've been with Black Diamond, I started with Black Diamond in 2018, and I've seen significant growth through this partnership. It's actually evolved considerably over the last 7 years plus, which is extremely important to myself, Black Diamond, the BOXX Modular team, and Whitecap Dakota Nation too. We see that growth. We see the business continuing to bring on new clients and new opportunities and projects, but is continuing to evolve into, increased scholarship programs. We're looking at training and development capacity growth programs. There's so much more that I see in the future. My vision is very, very wide right now, and I see success, continued success and growth happening throughout time with Whitecap Dakota Nation. It's been 10 years as of October this year, and we look forward to another 10 plus as we continue to forecast into the future.
Scott and Harley, you both hit it greatly. Growth is huge. We're expected to expand across Saskatchewan, and Whitecap Dakota Nation is a key part of that. Whether it's a new modular projects, expanded service offerings, or deeper community engagement, we see this partnership as a blueprint for how businesses and Indigenous communities can grow together. It's exciting to think about what's next, not just in terms of buildings, but in terms of impact in our relationship.
rounding this out, final thoughts, rapid fire from all three of you.
Thank you, Michelle, so much for having us today. This has been an excellent conversation. I'd like to thank my colleagues, Dan and Harley, as well for their contribution. Should anybody wish to get more information about Black Diamond Group, BOXX Modular's Indigenous relations, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is available on our website, or you can try at smcleod@blackdiamondgroup.com.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Dan, Scott, always a pleasure. I will say from Whitecap perspective, we really enjoy our partners. They bring a lot to the table. We constantly want to grow. We do have a lot of partners reaching out to us a lot of times to see where we can go from. And we do have a very good reputation in the space for having long-term partnerships. So for that, I would say thank you again, Scott and Dan, for Black Diamond on a long partnership. We will be doing some 10th anniversary kind of shindig in March for us. So we're looking forward to that as a group. But really, thanks everybody for this and being able to put our components out there. If anybody does have any questions about the Whitecap partnership or Whitecap itself, they can reach out to me. Feel free to, I think Scott has the info of the contact stuff, so we can direct it to me for questions on Indigenous partnerships. But again, thanks, Michelle, Dan, and Scott for being part of this.
Anybody listening to this podcast that's looking for more information on how to help their modular space needs, please do not hesitate to go to boxxmodular.ca, or you can contact me as I'm the sales representative for Saskatchewan at dclark@boxxmodular.com. Again, thank you very much, the three of you.
Perfect way to end. Scott McLeod, Manager, Indigenous Relations, Whitecap Black Diamond, Dan Clark, Sales Representative, BOXX Modular, Saskatchewan, and Harley Camsell, Whitecap Development, LP General Manager. Appreciate the time from all of you because I know you're very busy out there doing your thing. So great to have you all here together talking about this partnership, and congratulations on where you've come so far, and looking forward to see where the future takes you. So thank you for being here today. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in and listening to this podcast, Built Modular. If you liked the conversations that you heard here today, we encourage you to check out past podcast episodes. That's going to do it for us today. I'm your host, Michelle Dawn Mooney. Thanks again for joining us. We hope to connect with you on another podcast soon.